At the beginning of the movie, we see South Africa is introducing robot police officers to fight against the increasing violence, robbery, and other criminal activities. This will be the world's first robotic police force. Tetraveil is the tech company that designs and assembles robots. Apart from the human-like robots, they also produce large-sized models. It is operated by a human operator and it is practically indestructible. The lead scientist is working on a prototype AI model that will be able to think and make decisions on its own. Meanwhile, a wounded robot named Scout 22 is brought back to the Tetraveil facility for repair. They fix the problem and send him back to duty. A group of friends is meeting with a local gangster to sort out a deal. But the gangster does not agree with the price Ninja offers and escalates the situation. He shoots one of Ninja's teammates. Suddenly, the place is stormed by police helicopters and robots. Gangsters detonate smoke explosives to evade police robots. Police robots get down from the helicopters and lead the way towards the fight, followed by human officers. They handle the situation quickly and eliminate most of the bad guys. One robot breached a door, but the gangster was waiting with an RPG and knocked him out. Meanwhile, the three friends run away from there. After the injury, Scout 22 is again brought back to the facility and discarded. Ninja and his team are now planning to get a controller device for the robots and make the robots work for them. Meanwhile, the lead scientist Dion is working on creating a prototype AI to create a robot that will think and behave like a human. He created the program and it is stable to test out. He goes back to the Tetraveil facility, but the CEO didn't allow him to test the new program. He enters the lab, picks up the discarded Scout 22 robot, and brings it back to his home. But we see that Ninja and his team are waiting to hijack him. They bring him to their base and ask him about how to control the robots. They saw the disassembled parts of Scout 22 and wanted him to reprogram it to work for them. He assembles the robot and installs the newly created and untested AI program developed by him. But there is one complication: the battery of the robot is damaged and will only run for 5 days. He uploads the program and installs the new firmware. The robot wakes up and behaves very unusually, like he is scared. Actually, the robot is like a newborn human child now. He has to be taught about things. Yolandi and Dion comfort him and teach him basic things. Yolandi named the robot Chappie. At Tetraveil, another scientist named Vincent finds out that the guard key is missing and is now installed on Scout 22 aka Chappie. The next day, Chappie wakes up and explores the whole building and tries out different things. Ninja teaches him on how to hold a gun and shoot targets, but Chappie is not a good shooter and misses. Meanwhile, Vincent suspects something is wrong and starts to observe and follow Dion. We now see Chappie, Yolandi, and America getting along very well. Vincent followed Dion and finds the abandoned building where they kept Chappie. Dion tells Chappie that he created him and asks Chappie to promise that he will not do violence and other criminal behaviors. Chappie is like a young child now, so Dion teaches him all sorts of things. Vincent sees Dion teaching Chappie. Chappie learns quickly and becomes an excellent painter. Meanwhile, America gets information about a potential money shipment. Ninja is not very happy with Chappie's progress. He takes him outside and leaves him there. Locals of the city think he is a cop and attack him. Chappie runs away from them, but got attacked by Molotovs. Chappie is now clueless as to where to go. Meanwhile, Vincent and his team are tracking Chappie's location. Vincent approaches Chappie and knocks him out using some electronic device. Chappie's arm is chopped off, and they remove the guard key from his system. They are about to finish him off, but Chappie fights back and jumps from the bus. They shoot him in the back, but he runs towards safety and reaches the abandoned building. Yolandi and America hook up Chappie with a new arm. Later in the night, Yolandi reads Chappie the story about the black sheep. Ninja says sorry to Chappie and teaches him how to be a gangster. But Chappie is not going to shoot because he promised his maker not to do violence. But America and Ninja trick him to use knives and other sharp objects on targets. Ninja uses Chappie to hijack a car, but Chappie ends up demolishing the whole car. From next time, Chappie does everything correctly, and Ninja has made lots of money. Next, they go to buy supplies for the upcoming heist, but seeing Chappie, everyone thinks he is a cop and runs away. Ninja tells Chappie that he is going to die within 5 days, and the scientist purposefully put him in a broken body. Ninja can give Chappie a new body, but Chappie has to help Ninja with the heist. Dion comes to talk with Chappie, but Chappie is upset with him. Meanwhile, at Tetravale Lab, using the guard key he removed from Chappie, Vincent logs onto the network of all police droids. He overwrites their firmware with a faulty one, and one by one all the police robots malfunction and becomes offline. Chappie also got offline. Dion takes Chappie from Ninja and brings back him to the lab. Gangster Hippo gets information that the police robots are offline now. All kinds of violence broke out all over the city. Police forces try to control the situation but fail. Every human reservist is called back for duty. Vincent is now trying to remove any trace of him from the computer. Dion comes to the lab with Chappie and sees the virus code. He stops the overwrite process just in time and is able to retain the original firmware in Chappie. At the lab, Chappie sees a neural transmitter helmet and a prototype robot body. Chappie says that since he is dying within 5 days, he could use the new body to live longer. But Dion tells him that Chappie is like a human now, and his consciousness cannot be copied to another robot. Chappie takes the neural transmitter helmet and runs towards the abandoned building. Tetravale security is called. Vincent closes the desktop window and walks out like nothing is wrong. He takes advantage of the situation and suggests using the bigger robots to patrol the city. Chappie learns from various sources about the brain and tries to compute neural data. After many attempts, he was finally able to get his consciousness copied to the computer. All he now needs is a new robot body to transfer it. Ninja, Yolandi, America, and Chappie get ready for the heist. Chappie uses the non-lethal method and helps them steal the money from the armored truck. Meanwhile, Dion finds out that Vincent is the one who installed a virus on the police droids. Chappie is all over the news stealing the money. Vincent convinces the CEO of Tetravale that the rogue robot aka Chappie needs to be dealt with immediately, and he can do that with his giant robot called Moose. Dion takes supplies from the armory and heads toward the abandoned building. Hippo sees Chappie on TV and now he wants the robot. Vincent enters the pilot seat of the Moose and initiates the neural link with the robot. He flies the robot and locates Chappie's location. Dion informs everyone about the incoming threat. Suddenly, they are surrounded by Hippo's men, and a shootout broke out between them. Chappie prepares grenades for the battle. Vincent arrives there with the robot and attacks everyone. He throws cluster bombs all over the area. Chappie jumps into the battle, sticks an explosive device to Moose's body, and fires grenade launcher rounds. But Vincent fires back at Chappie and knocks him down. Ninja shoots at the robot and destroys the camera. Vincent is now fighting blind. Meanwhile, Chappie asks Dion to get the car. Just when they are about to go, Hippo comes there and shoots Ninja in the leg and Dion in the abdomen. Chappie picks them up, but they are still hunted by Vincent. Chappie tries to copy Dion's neural consciousness, but the helmet gets destroyed due to firing. Ninja stays behind and asks Chappie and Yolandi to get to safety. Ninja drops his weapon and gets on his knees. Suddenly, Yolandi runs out of the van and picks up the weapon and shoots at the Moose. Vincent sees her and fires back. Chappie jumps in but fails to save her. Vincent then fires on Chappie. Chappie sees the detonator for the explosive he struck in the Moose earlier and blows it up. After Yolandi's death, Chappie becomes very angry and swears to crush the man responsible for it. Dion tells him about Vincent. They drive to the lab. Chappie recognizes Vincent as his previous torturer. He chases after Vincent, beats him up, and throws him onto the ceiling. He then takes Dion to the lab and puts on the neural transmitter helmet. Dion's consciousness is transferred to the robotic body. Meanwhile, the Tetravale security arrive at the lab and tries to open the armored door. The problem is that there was only one good robot body, but Dion suddenly remembers that there are hundreds of police droids all over the city. Just like Vincent used the computer to remotely upload faulty firmware to the police robots. They can also copy Chappie's consciousness and send it remotely to any one of those robots using the guard key. They locate the nearest police droid and start the transmission. The door got unlocked. Dion runs out from the lab and sees a robot waking up. He addresses the robot, and Chappie replies back. They all gather at the building. While burning Yolandi's staff, Ninja comes across a flash drive. This drive actually contains the consciousness of Yolandi, which has been copied earlier. They all give a proper burial to the human Yolandi. Meanwhile, South Africa has halted using robots and activated the Human Reserve Police Force. Chappie is now working on creating a robot version of Yolandi. He transfers the consciousness to the robot brain chip, and we see a robot that looks like Yolandi pieced together.